Hello, folks. Welcome back to the Dugout Football channel, and it is time for the FA Cup fourth round prediction stream. Yes, we had a few upsets in the FA Cup third round. Will we have some more upsets in the fourth round? Joining me once again to predict the FA Cup, I have Mr. Richard Davies, Rich Sports. How are you, Rich?
I'm really good, Doug. Happy to be here. Hopefully, we didn't actually. I don't think I managed to call any of the upsets because they were pretty unpredictable upsets in the last round. But no, looking forward to it, and it should be good. Should be a good stream tonight.
Yeah, just obviously, just to get a little bit of insight in here, we both got 18 points the last time, so it was a draw. Funnily enough, I think I got Hartlepool Blackpool, which I'm not really counting as an upset because I think it was kind of. I think it's what you call a mini wee upset. I think the major upset I didn't get was Kidderminster Reading. I don't think anyone expected Kidderminster to beat Reading. But yeah, there's a few games in here that I think could potentially be a wee bit of upsets. But we will get for anyone who didn't know, Brad was meant to be joining us. Unfortunately, he is not very well at the moment. So get well soon, Brad. We'll have you up on the channel very, very soon. And if you are tuning in, then hope you are okay as well. Hello, Helen. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hello, Chris Welsh. Thank you for tuning in as well. I've gone for a few upsets. Oh, okay. Interesting. We will wait and see what you've gone for, or gone, as they say. I've also got the African Cup of Nations on at the moment. It is 0-0 between Burkina Faso and Senegal. If anyone wants to keep me updated with the Old Firm, I know Celtic have just scored as well, so that's 1-0 to Celtic as well. But we are here for the FA Cup fourth round stream. And I was just jokingly saying off air that Rich doesn't have to wait until last for Manchester United, because the first match to preview and predict is Manchester United against Middlesbrough. How are you feeling about this game? Looking at it on paper, you'd have to say Manchester United are probably going to win this. But then again, Middlesbrough been a bit indifferent in the championship recently. I've got a home win in this one. I don't know. What are you thinking of this game?
I think with this one, based on how our season's gone, I've got a home win, and it's basically probably our most realistic chance of actually getting any sort of silverware this season. I don't know how realistic that is. It probably depends. After the last draw, I was just happy not to get a Premier League team and get a home draw against a team like Middlesbrough. I know Middlesbrough have done, they've done okay this season. They're on the periphery of playoffs, aren't they? They're quite having a decent season. So
yeah, they've had a few draws recently, had a few draws and a few defeats. So they've kind of lost their way a little bit, but
it's difficult because obviously Middlesbrough would not mind a cup run, I'm sure, but obviously the focus has got to be promotion for them. Manchester United kind of trimmed the squad a little bit. I would expect Manchester United to win this game. I would actually go 2-0 maybe as a prediction, and think I don't think it'll be an exciting game, but I think maybe Manchester United will be up for this one, because I think it's quite important now based on how we've done in the league this season.
Yeah, absolutely. Funnily enough, I've gone 2-0 as well. I have gone 2-0 as well. I just think Manchester United will be too strong for Middlesbrough. So let's see what some of you. I've got the Old Firm on. Don't worry, no problem, Chris. Who scored for Celtic, by the way, Chris? Who scored for Celtic? Because if Celtic win that game, they actually go top for the first time in a long, long time. Anyway, my prediction is Leicester to paint Nottingham blue. Well, we will come on to that. That's the second last game, funnily enough.
Yeah, that's actually what I'm looking forward to as a neutral in that one.
Me too. Hi, Niall. Thank you for tuning in. He's gone for a 3-0 win to Manchester United. Hi, Liz Golden. Ant's gone for 1-0 United. Chris Welsh, Man United won, Middlesbrough won. Man United to win on pens. So that's the first of my upsets. Man United winning a game.
I think a few people are predicting a clean sheet is interesting to see, because we haven't really got too many of those, but maybe, you never know.
Yeah, it could be interesting. Helen saying hello to Liz. Man United 2, Middlesbrough 0. Good evening, Shane. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, this is a good point. Middlesbrough got Chris Wilder as well. We all know what happened the last time Chris Wilder went to Old Trafford.
I was also thinking, like, we had this winter break. How's that going to? Some teams don't have a winter break. How's that going to affect? I don't know if it will have any bearing at all, but
it could be interesting. It could be very, very interesting. But yeah, the last time Chris Wilder went to Old Trafford, he obviously went and won with Sheffield United, which was
that's probably. I think they're probably equally as big. This Sheffield United is probably a bigger upset, actually, based on where they were in the league than Middlesbrough.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree. 3-1 Man United, says Sportcat 1. Hey Helen, 2-1 United, says Liz. Hatate. It was Hatate. Oh, Hatate that scored for Celtic. Oh yeah, he I think he scored at Hearts the other week there. That was a bit of a good strike. Hatate. There we go. Sportcat, I'm doing very well, my friend. Hope you are doing well. And Manchester United will win, says Helen. So yeah, I'm going for 2-0 Manchester United. Now, the next game is Chelsea against Plymouth Argyle, and this is Chelsea's last game before they go off to the Club World Cup. Now, I was actually going through obviously the Premier League predictions, and Chelsea actually don't play. I think it's till after the I think it's the 20th of February before they play again next. So could be an interesting one. Plymouth Argyle going very, very well in their league as well. As Chelsea are at home again, but I fully expect Plymouth Argyle to put up a bit more fight than Chesterfield did, if I'm being honest, Rich. How do you see this one going?
They might do. They might. I think it's a tough ask to see Plymouth getting too much out of this. I think Chelsea, they don't have the hardest cup draws recently, have they? I think Chelsea are going to win this fairly comfortably. I don't know if I give Plymouth a goal. I might go 3 or 4-0 Chelsea. I'll say 4-0 Chelsea is my prediction. I think they'll be comfortable winners. I'm hoping I'm wrong. You never know. I don't see this as being one of the shocks, but
no. I unfortunately don't either. I've gone 2-0 Chelsea. I think Chelsea will be too strong. Rangers doing well to keep it at 1. Oh, interesting indeed. Hello to Nippon. I do like your new channel name, Nippon. I think it's quite funky actually. I do like that. But I hope you're doing well anyway. I know you'll be disappointed with the score at the moment. 6-0 Chelsea, says Ant. Celtic were like Scottish arrows in the first 5 minutes. Wow, interesting. Out for revenge for sure. 3-0 Chelsea, says Shane. Chelsea 5, Plymouth 0. Sorry, Plymouth fans. Plymouth will be focusing on League One, trying to get out of League One. Yeah, of course, because you've got Sunderland in there, you've got Portsmouth in there. I think the last thing that they need is probably a cup run. So yes, it might come to an end this time around, but I don't see Plymouth getting hammered. I don't see them getting hammered like 4 or 5. But you never know. But I do feel Plymouth are much better equipped than Chesterfield were, and Liz Golden going for a 3-0 win as well. So both of us going for Chelsea victories. So the next game, it's another 12:30 kickoff actually, and congratulations to non-league side Kidderminster Harriers. Their achievement for beating Reading. They have the Hammers, West Ham United. How do you see this one going?
Well, this is an interesting one, isn't it? I think West Ham would like a cup run. Well, they've also got the Europa League. They've got trying to battle for 4th for Europa League positions. I think Kidderminster have done fantastic to get to this stage. Unbelievable in the last round. I do think West Ham will be fairly comfortable winners in this one. Could be a routine, like 3-0 win, I think, for West Ham. I'd like to see Kidderminster get a goal or something, just like a shock start or something. But I don't see West Ham are too good at the moment. After the break they've had, I think West Ham will have too much.
Yeah, I think so. I've actually given Kidderminster a goal, but I agree with you. I think West Ham will be too strong. I've gone for 3-1 West Ham. I just think they'll be well too strong for Kidderminster. So we will see. What have you guys said? Good evening, Jamie. I hope you are doing well as well. Ant's going for 2-0 Irons. Interesting. Kidderminster Harriers 0, West Ham 2. Kidderminster 1, West Ham 1. Kidderminster also win on
Oh,
pens. I
that
got a
would be a
feeling
massive shock. I think that would.
that would be a massive shock. It would definitely be a massive shock. Shock in the cards in this one. A lot of people are still.
People saying that.
A lot of people are thinking a wee shock here. We're still in the league though, Scottish Premiership that is. Yeah, okay. Les Golden going for 2-1 West Ham. So not a comfortable win for West Ham, but yeah, 3-1 West Ham for me and 3-0 West Ham for Rich. Now we have got Crystal Palace against Hartlepool United. Hartlepool beating Blackpool, I should say, in the last round. Crystal Palace getting past a tough nut to crack in Millwall. I mean, I think the thing is, I think Crystal Palace will definitely rotate for this one. But how do you see this going?
I think this might be a bit closer than the other games we talked about. Yeah, Crystal Palace quite often have decent cup runs, don't they? And they're not in a relegation fight. So realistically, what's the focus for the season? And I think maybe going for a decent cup run might be that. So I think they probably will rotate a bit, but we'll have too much quality on the bench. I do think it might be a bit closer than the other games I've been calling. I'm thinking maybe like a 2-1 to Crystal Palace. But I think it'll be one of these games where I think Crystal Palace are going to win. And they're a decent team and a difficult team to play against, Crystal Palace. Vieira's done some great stuff there this season. And yeah, I think they'll be one of these teams that possibly if it had gone against them this season, you could see them. I think some people did think they may be fighting relegation, but they've done really well. So I think they might rotate a bit because they probably want to get a few more wins, assuming maybe some like Newcastle and Everton have sort of bounce backs. But I'm going to say 2-1 in this game.
2-1, yeah. I've actually got 1-0 Palace. I think it's going to be a very, very tricky one. Very, very tricky one to call. Just to answer Nipun's question, the game's at Selhurst Park. The game is at Selhurst Park. So if it had been at Hartlepool, then I may have maybe considered a wee upset. But the fact is that Selhurst, I don't think it'll be an upset. Crystal Palace 4, Hartlepool 0, says Chris. 2-1 Palace says Ant. 2-0 Palace says Shane. West Ham win. Oh yeah, that's against Kidderminster Harriers. Palace 2-1. Everyone seems to be going for
like quite close games, aren't they? I suppose Crystal Palace are a team that you could expect to blow teams away, are they? They don't really tend to win or lose by big scores. So yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, Hartlepool struggled to score, but good defensively. I think Palace be too much for me, says Chris. 1-1, says Liz Golden. So Liz, who do you see going through after extra time or penalties? That could be interesting for sure. You will see the difference between Premier League and League Two. Yeah. Well, look, I think the thing is Hartlepool's aim will be obviously to stay in League Two for sure. But yeah, obviously good luck to them for sure. But yeah, I think I'm going to go 1-0. I'm going to go 1-0. I think it'll be a bit of a, I wouldn't say a drab affair, but I think Hartlepool can make it very, very difficult for them as well. Palace to go through, says Liz Golden. Going for an upset as a Hartlepool win, says Helen. Very, very interesting. Palace 1, Hartlepool 0. Good evening to Eagle-Eyed Nate. Banana skin for us if we're not careful. I'm saying 2-1 Palace. Everyone seems to be going for 2-1 or 1-0.
For that one, isn't it? I think it's I don't think Crystal Palace are really a high scoring team. Normally, maybe that's why.
Definitely not. So the next game, I think this is a really tricky one to call. This one, Everton against Brentford. Obviously, Frank Lampard's
difficult. If that was a league match, there's nothing between them, is there?
Definitely. Frank Lampard's first match as Everton manager. Obviously, he will have new recruits, Dele Alli, Donny van de Beek in there as well. Brentford, obviously, Christian Eriksen will be available as well. I just think that's a fantastic story. Having Christian Eriksen back in football, especially after what happened to him about 8 months ago, is absolutely incredible. This is a very hard one to call. This is my first one that goes to all the way for me. I'm going 1-1 between Everton and Brentford. I've got a feeling that Everton will go through on pens or extra time. What are you saying for this one?
I think if this was a league match, I think I'd just call it as a draw, because I think the two teams that are probably so evenly matched in terms of performance this season. Obviously, Everton in a bad run have strengthened in the window, and I think with like Lampard, he's had a bit of time over this break to maybe try and do things, hopefully, for Everton fans. Brentford, they've obviously got that Tony video, which we won't say too much about, but he maybe have to sort out that situation. I think Ericsson, when I did covering the transfer window as Manchester United fans, not a lot to talk about in the window, really. But Ericsson, for me, was like a story worth talking about, because it is a really good, it's a positive story about the transfer window. It's really good to see him playing football again, or we will be seeing him play football again. So that's really great to see. This game, though, I think it's going to be, it might be penalties for me. And I was going to say 1-1 as well. And on
1-1.
Penalties, I think I'd go for Everton to sneak through at some point. Extra time or penalties, I think Everton somehow get through. But I think it's going to be really, really close. I could be I could be wrong, but I just think I can't split the teams.
Yeah, it is a very, very tricky one to call. That is for sure.
It'd be interesting to think, actually.
Yeah. Now 3-0 Palace. 2-1 Brentford. Interesting. Hi Jade. Thank you for tuning in.
I wouldn't be surprised though, given recent form, Everton. I'm just assuming. I'm kind of thinking that Everton will improve, but on current league form, I wouldn't really be surprised if Brentford won.
No, I wouldn't be either. Chris Marsh going for 2-0 Everton. 2-1 Brentford, and then he goes 1995. That's quite funny. That is very, very funny. Shane O'Donnell's going for a 2-1 win to Everton after extra time. Hi Jade. Let's hope VAR doesn't work against us this time. Yes, I definitely agree with you there. Hi Helen. 2-2 Brentford to go through. I have no volume and can't hear. Oh, okay. Hopefully you can hear me. I think everyone can hear me anyway. Brentford 2, Everton 1. Rangers at the moment seem to have waved the early storm from Celtic. That's good. Everton 1, Brentford 2. Brentford win 2-1.
Okay.
New manager bounce 2-0, says Jamie. And Diego says, evening all. Thank you very much for tuning in, Diego. As well, one of my new mods, of course. It does a very, very good job. I can hear you. Yeah, and yes, Helen, I have got it on in the background. It is 0-0 as well. Just got it's just 57 minutes gone. 57 minutes gone in that game. So yeah, that's one of the ones that's very, very tricky to call. Now we've got an all championship affair, and if I'm Barnsley, right, I would be wanting to stay in the league. They're currently bottom of the table at the moment. Huddersfield are going really well. I can only see a home win here, Rich. I don't know about you, but I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Huddersfield.
I think Barnsley are getting knocked out, and I don't know if they're going to have much fight. I'm going to go 2-0 as well. I just think that I don't think they're going to stay in the league either. I don't think that.
No.
With teams like Derby around them are going to improve. No, I say 2-0 Huddersfield. They did well in the last round. And I think for Barnsley, it's just not a good year for Barnsley. Really struggling.
No, I really feel for them, because they were actually very, very close to getting up last season. Obviously, they lost to Swansea. They lost to Swansea, and then obviously Swansea lost to Brentford, and Brentford, got promoted. So I do feel for them, and they did lose a lot of players over the course of last season as well. So it just hasn't been a good season for them. There's not been a good season for them,
though, isn't it? In that you see sometimes in that league that if you miss out on promotion, a lot of your better players get poached, particularly if you get quite close. If you get into the playoffs, you see a lot of your players, other teams around you notice them, and I did think that was going to happen to Brentford, but they managed to hold most of their players a couple of years ago. So yeah, unlucky for Barnsley, but I think Huddersfield, they're doing well this season.
Yeah. I've gone for 2-0 Huddersfield as well. Huddersfield 2, Barnsley 1, says Chris Welsh. Huddersfield 2, Barnsley 0, says Shane. 2-1 Barnsley, Niall. Ooh, interesting. Interesting indeed. I hope we get a chat on the next. Oh, they're out already. Shame that. Would have loved another easy South London derby in the cup. Yeah, that would have
There's probably a
been
few other
very, very
teams you
funny.
can get.
Yeah, Huddersfield 2-1 says Les Golden. Yorkshire derby. Yep, of course. 2-0 Barnsley. So a couple of people going for Barnsley and a couple of people going for Huddersfield. Is there really any point in previewing the next game? It's Manchester City against high-flying Fulham. I don't think Fulham are going to give any Man City any problems, unfortunately. I am going to say a 3-0 win to City.
It's a shame, isn't it? Because I'm looking at the league recently. Fulham, I think they've scored like 74 goals or something like that. They've scored a huge amount of goals, absolutely flying in the Championship, doing really well, probably heavy favourites to get promoted. What a bad team for them to draw. Couldn't really have got much worse for them. In the Manchester City will, I don't know, they're so efficient, aren't they, Manchester City, that they just have a way of shutting down teams in a way which we don't see other teams able to do. Unfortunately for Fulham, I think they're getting knocked out. Can I give them? I don't know if I can give Fulham a goal either. I want to, but I just think Man City, their defensive record's fantastic. Their scoring record's fantastic. They could rotate the team. Honestly, we couldn't even tell who were the first team players because the rotation doesn't. I look at every lineup for Man City, and you can't tell if it's rotated. There's no obvious go to 11. They've got so much quality. I don't think it's going to be like 4 or 5-0. I think maybe 2 or 3, maybe 3-0 for this one. And I think I hope it's closer, and I hope I'm wrong. But I think if Manchester City turn up, it's going to be very, very difficult for Fulham.
I agree. Yeah. So you're going 3-0, are you?
Yeah, I'll go 3-0. Unfortunately, I think we will get to see Fulham next year. Maybe I don't know whether Fulham, if things are going against them, maybe they won't try too much in the the end of this game and focus on get promoted, because obviously that's the main aim, and it looks like it's going extremely well for them.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see. Let's see what some of you are saying. Swindon to win the FA Cup. Well, I wish you were right, Niall, but unfortunately they are out.
Yeah, let's pick another underdog. Cambridge is still in.
Cambridge is still in, yeah. 3-1 Man City, says Niall. 3-1 Man City, says Chris. Everyone seems to be giving Fulham a goal here. Oh no, Shane O'Donnell. 4-0 City. Even Ballum, Fulham, Nico Williams, and your favourite player, Fabio Carvalho. Thoughts on Fabio Carvalho? It looks like we're going to be getting him. Looks like Liverpool and Fulham are still having talks, and I think the earliest I think we can sign him is I think the 22nd of June, because I think that's when the domestic transfers opens. So it looks like we're going to get him anyway. So, but Nico Williams. I don't know if he's cup tied. I'm not so sure if he's cut. I don't know if he played in the game against Shrewsbury, but obviously big task for Fulham as well. But yeah, Les Golden, if this happens, I think we'll all be happy. She's going for 2-1 Fulham. Fingers crossed. Yeah, I kind of agree with you. Hello everybody, says Ballum. 3-0 City. Fulham will probably rest players who want to get promoted ideally. Yeah, I think they're 5 points clear of Blackburn at the moment. Bournemouth have sort of slipped to third, which is quite interesting. Oh, here we go. Winning at the Etihad isn't for everyone. No eagle-eyed Nate, and you guys were fantastic when you beat Manchester City as well.
Yeah, I think everyone was happy when that happened, apart from City fans. But as someone a comment down saying there probably wasn't many people that were disappointed by that result.
No, definitely. Ballum Alvarez isn't arriving for Man City until November, I think, from what I'm hearing. Anyway, because I think obviously they'll still have the something Ladoras. They'll still have that, so I don't think he'll be. I don't think he'll be there. I got time. 4-1 prediction have worked. Thank you, Harrison, tuning in. Empty had Man City 4-1, City 3-0. 2-0 Celtic.
Rangers fans will not be happy.
Hatati again. Interesting. And Carvalho to beat City. 2-0 Celtic. Interesting. So let's see. That'll be about half time now. Half time now. Wow, interesting. 2-0 Celtic. Now we have another all championship affair. Oopsie daisy, didn't mean to put that off. It is Peterborough United against QPR. I have to say, if I'm one of these two, Peterborough trying to stay in the league, QPR slightly got a bit of a chance to potentially come up. I mean, the way that they've been playing recently as well. They've just signed Jeff Hendrick on loan from Newcastle as well, so can't get any worse for Newcastle fans. Obviously missing him. All championship affair. How do you see this one going?
I'd probably lean towards QPR. Possibly this could be a draw in extra time. My gut reaction was going to be like a 2-1 QPR win. I think Peterborough not playing great. It's a difficult one to call though. This one, I wouldn't be surprised if Peterborough put up a bit of a fight, but I'll stick with 2-1 to QPR. That was my first thought.
Yeah, good minds think alike. I've gone for 2-1 to QPR as well. I just think it'll be good as well. Take care, everybody. Oh, you're away. Alan McGregor, no chance with a goal. Douglas, if you come Man City State, nope, definitely not. Exactly, eagle-eyed Nate. Stranger things have happened, but I doubt Fulham will do it. Would be happy if they do, though. Yeah, absolutely.
It'd be nice if they gave them a game, wouldn't it? It'd be nice to put it from that point of view.
Fingers crossed. Peterborough 2, QPR 1. Peterborough 1, QPR 2. Eagle-eyed Nate's going 3-2 to QPR. Wow, some of you are actually going for a goal fest here. 1-1 QPR to go through. It could easily end in the draw. My prediction: Peterborough 0, QPR 2, says Diego. Chris is in. Come on, Leicester. Hope you're doing well, Chris. 3-0 Celtic. That is quite surprising. Oh my gosh, Abada. Celtic are on it tonight. Celtic are definitely on it tonight. This is an interesting one, I think, and a potential upset. Two sides who actually used to be in the Premier League all those years ago. Southampton against Coventry. Again, Coventry are another team that seem to be on the periphery of potentially getting into those playoffs. How do you see this one going?
It's tough, isn't it? Because when I was looking at the league with the Championship, there's so many teams that, because it's quite congested in the middle of that league, there's so many teams that if it can win a couple of games in a row, suddenly they're right in it. Southampton, for me, they're a really, really tricky team to play. For all the top teams, find it difficult playing against Southampton. I think Southampton will get through, but it'll be like I think 1-0 actually to Southampton for me. But I think it's going to be one of these pretty close games. I think Coventry will definitely give them a game. And for me, Southampton will just somehow find a way. I'm not going to predict a set-piece goal or something like that, but I wouldn't be surprised. They're not bad at those.
Yeah, Ward-Prowse in particular. Yeah,
like him. I think there was Southampton that realistically they're kind of in no man's land, aren't they? They're not going to get into the Europa League positions. They're not going to be troubled with relegation because they're just far too difficult to beat. They're always going to pick up points. So I think they'll get through this one.
Yeah, I think so. So I've gone 2-0 Southampton, but it could easily be a potential upset. It could potentially be a potential upset as well. Southampton 2, Coventry 0, same as me, Chris. 2-1 Southampton, says Shane. 2-1 Southampton, says Liz. Big Ange is loving life. Yep, certainly is. So much for me saying Rangers kept that at 1 and waved the storm. Yeah.
Commentator's curse there.
Definitely Liverpool B. Always have one of these comments. I mean, Liverpool B1, Coventry 2. That could be interesting. 2-0 Southampton. I'm hoping Southampton 7, Coventry 0. Hate the Sky Blues. Oh gosh, yeah, absolutely. As well. Hello, Andrew Williams. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully a WordPress red card as well, says Eagle-Eyed Nate.
That's an interesting prediction. Why?
That is.
Why are you hoping for the red for him?
I wonder. Yeah, and Foy's routing the Gers. Yeah, I know. I did not expect that Don't expect that to happen as well. This is a tricky one to call, I think, as well, because Stoke are another team that are sort of doing well. Wigan kind of wanting to try and get out of League One and back into the Championship. I'm going to go for a wee upset. I don't know if it's a wee upset or not, but I'm going 2-1 Wigan. I think Wigan can spur on the fact that they beat Blackburn in the last round, and I think that I think they'll beat Stoke. I'm going 2-1 Wigan.
Okay, I'm going to probably go the opposite way round and say Stoke win 2-1 for me, prediction wise. I think
2-1.
I think it'll be a tight one as well, but I'm going to go with so we differ on that one. But either way, I wouldn't be surprised if this was a 1-1 extra time. Again, it could be another close one.
Yeah, Senegal have just scored. I've just seen that now. Senegal have just gone 1-0 up on Burkina Faso as well. So absolutely hate the rat-faced. Interesting, eagle-eyed Nate. Interesting.
Okay, there must be
yeah,
some story to that, but obviously different fans hate different players. I didn't really know that was he was one of those players, but
yeah, he's a very good free kick taker anyway. Stoke 2, Wigan 0. Shane O'Donnell's agreeing with me 2-1 Wigan. Liz Golden agreeing with you 2-1 Stoke. Stoke's form's been patchy. Yes, very, very patchy. Michael O'Neill's still there, I think, as well. 2-0 Stoke. If this were rugby, we're talking 33-27. Oh, yeah, both of these sides are rugby teams, aren't they? Diallo, the scorer. Yeah. 2-1 Wigan, says Niall. And lovely, Maisie is in. Hope you're doing well, Maisie. Thank you for tuning in as well. I have to say, if there's a cup tie that you'd have to say is a home banker, it's this one. Wolves Norwich. Enough said. 2-0 Wolves, I'm going.
Yeah, hi Maisie as well. And hi Andrew. Thanks everyone that's watching today. Wolves Norwich. I was like joking about Wolves because almost every game was ending 1-0 to Wolves or against Wolves. Norwich, the team actually, every time I talk about Norwich on my channel, people think I hate Norwich because I keep saying they're going to get relegated. But honestly, I'd like to see Norwich survive. I have nothing against Norwich whatsoever. It was just my view at the start of the season that they wouldn't survive. And fair play to them. They're actually making it competitive down there. They're actually strung a couple of wins together. Wolves are like a bit of an underrated team, I think. They're doing well in the Premier League. They're 8th position at the moment, I think, somewhere in there. Yeah. They're a very difficult team to beat. Norwich don't want a cup run, do they? Wolves possibly do. I mean, I think for Wolves, they're close to Europa League, aren't they? What a story that would be, considering 3-1-0 defeats to start the season, looking at the manager possibly getting sacked early on. So for me, I think I've got a back against Norwich, but I think Norwich are going to make it more competitive than we've seen in a lot of games so far this season. I'm tempted to go 1-0 Wolves because so many games end 1-0 with Wolves. I'm going to say 2-1 to Wolves, though. I think there's been a few more goals recently in these games, and let's give Norwich a goal fighting chance. But I do think they'll end up losing. But I think they are better after sacking Daniel Farke. I think they've done much better since then.
Yeah.
So yeah, unlucky for maybe it's one of those. I don't want to see managers getting sacked. But I do think it's one of those clubs where I think they made the right decision. You can see the improvement since he's gone.
Yeah, definitely. Let's see what some of you are saying for this. Wolves 2, Norwich 0. Actually, big up Devils United, says eagle-eyed Nate. Wolves 2, Norwich 0. Half-time in the Old Firm now. Celtic are 3-0 up. Currently watching it. Yep, Niall 2-0 Wolves. Rotation possibly, yeah. There could be a bit of rotation. There could easily be a bit of rotation, for sure. Devils saying hey there, Nate. Niall saying hello to Maisie. Wolves 1-0, says Liz. Obviously, Liz's hobby is a Wolves Wolves supporter as well. So, Liz, I'd imagine your hobby will be very, very pleased with Wolves this season. Been very, very good, haven't they? 4-0 Wolves, says eagle-eyed Nate. Wigan Athletic win, I think. 2-0 Wolves as well. Devils United, hi Neil, hi Maisie, hey Helen. Wolves 1-0 Norwich. Norwich getting put in a spliff. Wow. I haven't heard that word for a wee while anyway. For me, Billy Gilmore, from a Scotland point of view, is at the wrong club. Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree. I think it looked like a good move on paper to begin with, but just unfortunately, he just hasn't had the impact that you would think that they would have. Wolves 4-0, says Helen. Having a chilled night. 2-1 Wolves, and Andrew Williams going for a 1-0 win to
Wolves. It's a safe prediction this season with Wolves, as much as a 1-1 with Brighton is. I think 1-0 to Wolves is a good prediction.
Yeah, I would absolutely agree. Oh, the next game. Can they do it again? They went to Newcastle and won. Now they come up against Luton Town. What are you saying for this one?
I want to see Cambridge get through. I mean, I live near by Cambridge, and what a story beating Newcastle. It was a much deserved victory. I know Newcastle had a lot of possession, and I don't think they really created crazy amount of chances. Obviously, Cambridge United goalkeeper did have to have a very good game. But yeah, I'd like to see it's a bit of I don't know if it is a bit of a derby. I mean, Luton's not too far away from Cambridge. I think I'm going to say 2-1 Cambridge United in this one.
Oh, that's my prediction as well. I've gone 2-1 to Cambridge as well. Good. See, good minds think alike, Rich. Good minds think alike.
Whether we're right or not, I definitely wouldn't have predicted the win against Newcastle, because that was a massive surprise for me.
Yeah, Senegal just gone 2-0 up, so it looks like they're going to go through to the final. So one step away from potential AFCON glory for the first time ever. They've never won AFCON, remember? So
it's a good one, though, isn't it? Cambridge United, Luton Town. It's a good one where both teams have got feel like they've got a good chance of getting through. None of them have been unlucky like Fulham. But
yeah, definitely. Niall going for 2-1 Luton. Cambridge and Luton 2-1 too many, I'm afraid. Liz going for both of us 2-1.
Sometimes after a massive win against Newcastle, it is difficult for Cambridge. There'll be a bit of expectation there, won't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Cambridge won Luton 3, sorry. Yep, just seen that. Guay, it was Puppy Gay that scored 2-1 Cambridge, says Shane. Such foul language saying Brighton on stream. Won't somebody think of the children? Only joking, Rich. Luton beat us last night. We're not great though. Cambridge 2-1. While loads of us gone the same score. And Eagle Eye Nay going for 2-1 Luton. Manny with a beautiful. It says, yeah, I've just seen it. I've just seen it actually. I've just seen it. 2-1 Luton, says Ant as well. Yeah. The next game is an all Premier League clash. And it is Tottenham against Brighton. I do not know which way this is going to go. What about you?
I was doing predictions like a while ago on a different channel, and Brighton were playing Chelsea. And before that, I just think Brighton will be difficult to beat. They'll get a 1-1 draw. And since then, I think they just keep getting 1-1 draws. And Tottenham, on paper, have got a better strike force, haven't they? I mean, Brighton would be a fantastic team if you could put Son and Kane at the head of their team. For me, I think this has got draw written all over it until extra time, in which case I think Spurs will probably nick it based on the players they've got. But honestly, this is like going to be a tight one. This could be, I don't know if it would be a shock, would it, if Brighton knocked out Spurs? I mean, the league position is quite close. I can't remember where Spurs are now. The Spurs probably have games in hand. I think it'll be close in a draw up until a certain point where I think Tottenham will eventually win 2-1. Whether it's the end of the 90 minutes or extra time, I think Tottenham win eventually before penalties.
So you're going 2-1 after extra time?
So 2-1, probably after extra time for me, I think, with that one.
Yeah. I'm going along the similar wavelength. I think it'll be 1-1 after 90 minutes. But I've got a feeling Brighton are going to actually go through on pens. I don't know why, but I am going to go 1-1 and I'm going to go Brighton on pens. I don't know why.
I think it's going to be close. I don't know why. Tottenham are inconsistent, aren't they? It's difficult to pick.
Very, very, very inconsistent. What did you make of their transfer business? A lot of people have been saying it wasn't a great window for Spurs. I'm kind of inclined to agree with them slightly.
I know they were saying that they just bought players to free up spaces at the team, so that the other team they bought players off could buy better players, and they've got rid of. I don't know with Spurs. I guess I have to see. I think for a lot of the things in January is that if you sign players from different leagues, how quickly can they get up to speed to actually have any positive impact on this season? I think for Newcastle, they've obviously had to take the chance and go for it. Spurs, I don't know. They were doing okay beforehand. Before they're having quite a decent season. Slowly, they're in a shout, aren't they, for top 4 if they win games in hand? They're looking quite difficult to beat in some games. So I don't know. I think they've done okay. I mean, certainly a lot of teams just looked at it as an opportunity to reduce the players in their squad, like us and Arsenal. So I think the Spurs have done okay, but they got rid of Dele Alli, which is probably not a bad thing.
Yeah, I think he cares about his hair more than he does about his football career. In all honesty, Tottenham 2, Brighton 0, says Chris. 2-1 Brighton 2006. 2006. Oh, is that when Spurs last won a trophy? Then it must be 2006. Wow, that's quite a long time. Tottenham 7, Brighton 0. I don't think it'll be 7-0 eagle-eyed Nate. I know you guys hate Brighton.
Unless there's some red card action early on, I don't really see that happening.
No, I don't either. 3-1 Spurs. 2-1 Brighton, says Liz. Interesting. Hello, Cedric. Thank you for tuning in. Spurs more depth. Feel good factor. 3-0 Spurs. Tight game. Going to go for Cambridge win. Stop with the heresy. The what? Heresy rich for the love of God.
I went for a Tottenham win, so I think that's. I won't go 7-0, but I'd say a Tottenham win probably.
Yeah,
but I think maybe actually this could be a season for Brighton where I think it's possibly one of the maybe the best season they have for a long time. I don't know the history of the club in terms of going back too far, but certainly since they've been back in the league, this could be one of the seasons they talk about. If they could get close to Europa League, maybe an FA Cup run. But I do think Spurs will probably win overall.
Yeah, I think so as well. Would shock me. Spurs got this. Cedric on for 2-1 Brighton. Hi, 1892 Reds podcast. Thank you for tuning in. 2-1 Tottenham after extra time. Anyone predicting Brighton to win?
A few people, actually. Few people.
Yeah. I'm off to Liverpool. I'm off to Liverpool game on Sunday. Can't wait. Luke, by the way, Luke, enjoy yourself. I'm pretty sure that'll be a good game to go to. Can someone please beat Brighton? Says Diego. Spurs in 1.4 billion debt. They can't do much. Have a lot of stadium debt to pay off. Oh yeah, that is very, very true. Lol. Sorry, Nate. Upset for Brighton win. Sorry, not sorry. Spud's getting peeled. I like that. Hey, Helen. Spurs 0, Brighton 1, says 82 Res podcast. Tottenham are bridesmaids on and off the pitch. Hi, Cedric. Apparently, Burkina Faso have just scored, have they? Yes, they have. Yeah, it's 2-1 now. So Burkina Faso back in the game now. All the Brighton praise. It's disgusting. Brighton are a brilliant side, says Ant. Tottenham get battered everywhere they go. Yeah, they certainly do. They certainly do. Now, the next game is Sunday lunchtime, and it is at Anfield. I think it's 6,700 Cardiff fans going to Anfield. Liverpool against Cardiff City. Now, obviously, the last game between these two in a cup tie was the 2012 League Cup final. Liverpool won that on penalties. I don't think it's going to be anything similar like that, but I'm going to give Cardiff a goal because I think we will probably play a high line as usual. And I know we went 1-0 behind against Shrewsbury, but I think we'll have too much for Cardiff. I'm going 3-1 Liverpool.
Do you see Liverpool rotating heavily? Because that's the only way I can see Cardiff being in this game. Even then,
if I'm being honest with you, I think everyone's back fit So it's really a toss of a coin who actually plays in this game. I honestly could not tell you what the team could be.
No, because I'm looking at this game, and when the draw was made, I was just thinking home win, no problems whatsoever. 3-0 Liverpool. I don't see Cardiff bothering you at all, unless you do something stupid early on. Unless you do something like, I don't know, it does happen sometimes, but I don't see it being anything other than pretty routine for me. I think Cardiff have their problems, don't they, in the Championship this season? So yeah. I think it'd be an easy day, unfortunately. So Cardiff.
Obviously, I know you're like Welsh. Do you have any allegiance to any Welsh team, or no? Not really.
I don't live remotely close to Cardiff or Swansea. When I was growing up, I was at the nearest teams actually were probably the closest teams are probably Everton, Liverpool in terms of like Premier League, or certain the teams that are in Premier League now, and maybe also some like Aston Villa and United. They're all been like sort of an hour and a bit distance. So not really. If I was going to pick one, maybe Swansea, but that's because of my mum being a Bristol City fan and she didn't like Cardiff. So that's the only reason.
Oh, okay. I
don't think they have the best reputation as fans. Let's put it that way.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Hang on. Ants Leicester fan channel, behave. Liverpool 2, Cardiff 0. Liverpool 3, Cardiff 0. 3-0 to the Reds, 3-0 Cardiff. And going for 1-0 Cardiff, I fancy an upset. Yeah, okay.
Don't put too much money on it, though. You probably get quite long odds, I'd have thought.
Andrew Williams, who I know is a Swansea fan, Cardiff are utterly shit. Liverpool 4-0. They've not been great. They've not been great. Let's just say that. No. I was at the League Cup final. Cardiff was superb under Malky Mackay. Paul Gerrard missing the pen, and then Stephen Gerrard going to console his cousin. I remember that game very, very well. If you're new, please subscribe at the Dugout Football channel and at Rich Sports. Also set notifications on. Thank you, Diego.
Cheers,
as well. 4-1 LFC. Bite me, boya. Sunday is my birthday. Liz. Happy birthday for Sunday. Hopefully it'll be a Reds win for you. Hello, Daniel. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I'm good. Thank you. How are you? It should be a very interesting game for sure. Kelleher, Bradley, Konate, Gomez, Simicas, Elliott, Jones, Milner, Gordon, Minamino, Firmino. Interesting. Mane's here. 3-1. Senegal have just booked their place in the final. Mane's just chipped the keeper, so that's a cracking finish. So, yeah, Senegal definitely going through to the final. As well. That so very nearly was us in 2012 making that final. Anthony Gardner proving he's tight as Bramble's long lost brother. Absolute brick of a defender. Kelleher, Bradley, Gomez, Konate, Simicas, Milner, Morton, Ox, Gordon, Firmino, Minamino. Very, very interesting as well. 5-0 LFC win. Hello, Brian Morrissey. Senegal left it late. Yeah, Mane has just scored. I think he's set a new record as well, I believe. As well. Good answer, Rich.
It's a Swansea fan.
Yeah, 4-0 Liverpool. You could be a Wrexham fan. Oh wait, they don't have a fan base. Never mind.
Wrexham have been bought by someone that's Ryan Reynolds is one of the people that owns Wrexham, which doesn't make much sense.
I can't for the life remember the second name. Someone Mick Helmenemy or something like that.
I don't know.
Someone in the chat will know.
I don't know how you make money investing in Wrexham, but there you go.
No, definitely not. Hi, evening, Brian. Thank you for tuning in. Cardiff, a proper good fan base, class away, following. Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, I've heard different.
Mane scored 3-1. Yeah, I've just seen it. Wasn't it Anthony Gerrard? Yeah, definitely. Mane. You tripping Ant, they are scumbag away fan. Oh gosh. Bramble Legends, Sadio. Nah, they are proper away following. Don't mind them at all. Sorry, mate. Yes, you were right with Anthony. Will Diaz be ready for the Cardiff game? Shane, I think he'll be on the bench. I don't see him starting. I think he will be on the bench, but I don't think he'll be starting. No wage cap in the National League, so they can do what they want. Rog McHell, there we go. I knew someone would know that. as well. Off for an app. Hope to be up for the quiz. If not, night off for you guys. Andrew, thank you for tuning in. Hope you're okay as well. Now, well, the moment that Nottingham Forest and Leicester City fans have been waiting for a long, long, long time. An East Midlands Derby. Nottingham Forest, Leicester City. I'm going to be honest here and say this. I can see it ending in a draw. But after that, it's the toss of a coin. I'm going to go Leicester on pens. So I'm going 1-1 and then Leicester City on pens. What about you, Rich?
Do you know what? When they beat Arsenal in the last round and Leicester got through, I was hoping this would be a tie. Because obviously for fans, they want to see these sort of games, don't you? They're your biggest rivals, like Manchester United fans like myself. It was funny when Leeds got relegated, but you do kind of miss playing certain teams that you do have this extra rivalry with. And I think it's for Leicester, Nottingham Forest, and put Derby in there as well, and Coventry. When they're in different leagues, you don't really get that rivalry, which I think is from a neutral fan as well. I'm looking forward to this game. And Forest, a fantastic achievement to get past Arsenal. I know Leicester fans won't like that, but it set this game up now, and the fact that it's in Nottingham makes it even more interesting. That it's so difficult to pick because I know that, like form-wise and quality-wise, Leicester got a much better team, but in this one-off game, that Nottingham going to give them such a battle. So I was thinking it could be very tight, like 1-1 in an extra time. I think Leicester will find a way to win in extra time. But it will be like a 2-1. But I think I would not be surprised if it went the other way. I would be surprised if it was a 3-0 win to Leicester. I'd be surprised if they won comfortably. So my prediction is going to be 2-1 to Leicester. But honestly,
2-1 Leicester.
I have no favourite in this game. I just want to see a really tight game. And I wouldn't mind seeing extra time. I'm not a big fan of penalties because it's a bit of a lottery. So I'd like to see maybe like a wonder goal win it or something rather than a defensive error.
Yeah, so 2-1 after extra time.
So 2-1 after extra time for that one.
Yeah, very interesting. Very, very interesting.
If it goes to penalties, it's going to be massively stressful for a Forest fan or Leicester fan because I'm sure that this means a lot, particularly as they won't play each other much recently.
Yeah, that is very, very true. I wanted to wager anyone that Wrexham won't go up this season. I can't wait to laugh at them. Ahmad off at half time in the Celtic Rangers game. He's off at half time. Interesting. So not had a good game. 1-0 to Forest, says Chris Welsh. Very interesting. 3-2 Foxes. 4-1 stick at the tree. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Not had them called that before.
Nope. Nottingham Forest 2, Leicester 1 after extra time, says Shane. 2-1 Leicester, says Liz. Forest 2, Leicester 1, says Eagle Eyed Nate. Nottingham Forest 1, Leicester City 1, but Leicester win on penalties. Exactly the same as I've said, Diego. Good minds think alike. Nottingham Forest always have Arsenal's number in the FA Cup, to be fair. That's a fair shout, actually. That is a fair shout. Close Leicester on pens, agree, Diego. Well, if Leicester lose, I sense a sacking. I don't think so.
I think the fan base is getting a little bit dissatisfied. I think you have this situation, don't you, where when Leicester got promoted and then they won the league quite quickly, everything's fantastic. When they finish sort of in the Europa League positions or get close to top 4, fans are really happy. But I think you then get used to that level of success. And if you drop down a little bit, it's like anything that then you kind of compare yourself where you were a season before. So no, Leicester fans, it depends on, some of them will be really happy that they're mid-table in the Premier League, where some of them will be looking at thinking, we won the league not too long ago. We should be fighting for top 4. And those fans are the ones that maybe if they lost to Nottingham, I don't think it'd be just on this game.
Yeah.
But you never know.
Definitely. Senegal have made it, so Senegal are in the final, though, so they'll await Cameroon and Egypt. Could be a good final, for sure. Can't stand the twats. And yes, I know I'm allowed to swear on stream. Don't worry about that, Niall. They live in the 1980s, according to...
There's a lot of hatred, I'm guessing, for Brighton and Forest on this stream tonight. So there's obviously a lot of Crystal
Yeah,
Palace fans and a lot of Leicester fans watching.
yeah, definitely. Maybe you should have some juice in a biscuit. Forest sound like Millwall fans then, stuck in the 70s and 80s. That's a very, very good point as well. Now, the final game to preview and predict is one game that one team has had a very good transfer window, and it is Bournemouth. Now, some of the signings that they have made: Kiefer Moore, someone Dembele from Peterborough, Nat Phillips, and this is the interesting one: Todd Cantwell. Now, I remember Todd Cantwell was being linked with, I think he was being linked with like Liverpool, Newcastle. I even read United were linked with him at one point as well. Are you surprised Norwich have let Cantwell go to Bournemouth?
It does seem strange, doesn't it? The situation they're in. Bournemouth did really well, and obviously they're having a good season. They're was it? I can't remember. Was they one of the teams that have dropped off a little bit recently? It is quite tight in that playoff situation.
I think they're third now. I think it's Fulham, Blackburn,
I think Blackburn
and
have had
then
a good
Bournemouth
run recently, and I think in that league you've definitely got to push for top two, because other teams have seen in the past, like Brentford a couple of years ago. Once you get to the playoffs, it's just who's on form at the end of the season, and I think. For Fulham, they really want to kick on now and try and make sure they finish top, or at least finish in the top two. I think for Bournemouth as well, you've got to go for it, because if they don't, it could be a situation where people look at Bournemouth and maybe try and nick some of their players. Certainly, Premier League teams or teams that get promoted will probably looking to do that. So yeah, Bournemouth have done really well, and I wouldn't be surprised if they're definitely in the mix, or if not promoted next season. So it's good to see some teams actually made the most of the transfer window.
Yeah, absolutely. I can only see a Bournemouth win. I'm going to give Bournemouth a goal, because I think they did very, very well to get through the last round.
Who did Bournemouth knock out at the last round? I can't remember.
Who did they knock out? Oh gosh! Now you're asking. I do have them written down somewhere. Let me just see.
I say fantastic achievement to get to this stage of the competition, isn't it? And good to get a decent sized team as well, a team at the top of near the top of the championship. So
they knocked out AFC Wimbledon 2-0 in the last game. Okay. So yeah, they're definitely hard not to crack. But I just think Bournemouth home crowd. I am going to go for 4-1 to Bournemouth. I think Bournemouth will have this in the bag. I think it's almost practically a new team that they've got out anyway, Bournemouth, and I think some of the new boys might get on the score sheet. I'm going to go 4-1.
I'm going to say 3-0 to Bournemouth, and Boreham Wood, fantastic to get to this stage of the competition. It's really good. Nice payday, hopefully at Bournemouth, get a decent crowd there. And yeah, that's what I'm going to go with.
3-0.
I can't see anything other than Bournemouth for that one.
Well, Chris Welsh disagrees with both of us. He's gone 1-1. Bournemouth to win on pens. I got a feeling. Interesting.
Chris did say he had a couple of shocks, didn't he?
He did indeed. We are awful. Softest team in the league. Brenda gets sacked. Fully deserves it. Stubborn man who's dug his own hole.
I told you. I did say that some Leicester fans have turned against him a bit. I can't remember what the reason was. I think it was just keeping the same system or the same players when things weren't working that was frustrating players. It could have been like as well with subs when it's not working well, not changing things in games. But maybe Ant's got a reason.
Bournemouth focus on promotion back to the Premier League, which I think they will get promoted along with Fulham. Yes, and hello, Hannah Alone. Thank you for tuning in. And I'm sorry you're having a tough season with Rodgers. £40 million moves to Liverpool, and the like Dean Smith bombed him out. Yeah, I know. Dean Smith and Daniel Farke, which is very interesting. Listen, hello to Hannah. Cedric, Hannah, I don't mind losing, but when we roll over and don't fight week in, week out, that's unacceptable. And are you going to Anfield by any chance on next Thursday? Because I do believe Liverpool playing Leicester on Thursday, which I don't get. I do not get why we are playing on the Thursday, but anyhow. Hello, Hannah. 2-0 Bournemouth. Campbell, one of Norwich's best players. Smith clearly doesn't rate him. Nope, definitely not. Bournemouth 5, Bournemouth 0. Yeah, got that Rodgers set piece issue too. Yeah, Leicester are terrible at defending set pieces.
And I thought we were
as well. AFC Bournemouth all day long. I really don't know how good Boreham Wood is, to be honest. Bournemouth 1-0 because they just got Naldini. Oh, yeah, not Nat Phillips. Yep. Yeah. Brian Morrissey, sacked our set piece coach, brought in his own man, and has been a shambles since. Same with the medical team. Also went against the scouts and signed Vestergaard.
I think with that one, though, is it because of the injury that he didn't have much time before the start of the season, so Vestergaard was a bit of a panic signing, maybe. But also, at the time, people were actually saying it was decent signing. So I know, speaking to Brad, he's very unimpressed with Vestergaard.
As is Chris. I know for a fact that Chris is as well.
Ant, so that's pretty much every Leicester fan I know.
Yeah, Brian Morrissey says, "Ant, you have my sympathy. Terrible manager, and you are going to Anfield."
Yeah.
Oh well,
we were linked to Brendan Rodgers as well, and I said I didn't want Brendan Rodgers, and it wasn't because of the Liverpool link. It just was. I don't know. I'm not going to say too much about him, but I just don't think he's as good as some of the people. I think Leicester have had good seasons, but I don't think it's because of Brendan Rodgers.
Do you think he's been distracted by the Manchester United stuff?
I did wonder at the time because it did seem to coincide with slightly in different form. But I don't know, it may be one of those things, isn't it? That when you're a manager and very successful in Scotland, comes back down to Leicester, it's difficult to see where he can take Leicester at the moment. And I don't know whether he's looking around. There's not any opportunity. I think Manchester United would have been... I don't think he's the manager we really want. No, it would have probably been an improvement on what we had, but I think we need to go maybe get a completely different manager, not just pick one that's just because he's in the league.
Yeah. Just obviously going away from that, Pochettino looks like he's going to be getting the sack at PSG in the summer. Do you think he's destined for the United job?
I don't know. Honestly, if he ends up being a Manchester United manager, they should have just done it 2 years ago. But I don't really know. You can make the argument, and the argument is always that Spurs didn't have the most money, and he did really well with what they've got. But then it's still a gamble. And I know that when Poch actually he inherited a very good team to start with, and the team sort of grew together when he started having more control over players that he brought in. And obviously, people seem to forget he left Spurs mid-table, and they weren't doing great. So he didn't really sustain it for too long. And he got to finals, yes, but he didn't win anything. And that's what people say about Solskjaer. So for me, I don't think it would have made much difference the last couple of years if we'd have had him. I think Manchester United need to probably forget about Parker and move on to someone else. That's just my view.
Agree.
A lot of fans will probably say they really want him in, but I don't know.
Yeah, there were a lot of United fans that I know were wanting Poch, but
I don't think he's a game changer manager like Klopp has been at Liverpool. I think he's potentially better than what we've seen before, but I don't think he's going to be someone that's going to challenge Pep Guardiola and Klopp for which are the two best managers in the league at the moment. I don't think he's at that level, so I think Manchester United need to go out of the league and look further afield.
Ten Hag, maybe.
That's one. I think that's one that a lot of fans are interested in. You never know. We'll see. I think there's possibly like the transfer window this month. Manchester United haven't bought, and I think that's because they're not 100% sure who's manager. I think if they knew in the background, potentially they might have spoke to him and said, "Who do you if there's anyone worth getting in?" But I think unless there was like an obvious bargain, someone we couldn't miss out on, we might have gone for it. But at the moment, I think a lot of fans are getting a bit worked up about we haven't signed people. But I'm 100% happy we haven't signed people, just because you don't sign players then get a new manager. That's the wrong way around. You sign a manager, then get the players, because otherwise you'll end up with a lot of managerial changes we've seen this summer. You come to the team and look at it and go, right, I don't fancy that player or that player, but they were on a 4-year contract. What do you do then? And you're paying them too much, so you can't move them on.
Yeah, absolutely. Rodgers is just massively overrated, in my opinion, says Hannah alone. Yeah. We had 3 players scouted, and Brendan went against all and signed the worst centre back in the league. Jesus. Fofana getting injured was massively unlucky too.
So
Yeah, to be fair, Fofana's been a big miss. I am a big fan of his. I think obviously we all saw the horrible tackle from that Villarreal player. Name's gone for
yeah,
me.
no, that's just bad
But
luck. Very bad luck, isn't it?
yeah, it's bad luck, and it was in a friendly, but the tackle should never have been made in the first place as well. Brendan's always looking at the next job even from day one. That's a good point. That is a very, very good point. Hopefully little Wes will be back this month. It was a grim tackle. Patrick Silka, thank you for tuning in. He's going for United 2, Middlesbrough 0. Hopefully he goes. I like him, but what he's done, but he's just turned to shit this season. Yeah, definitely. Second half, the backroom staff was the start of his downfall. Yeah. Chelsea 3, Plymouth 0. Rodgers signed slabheads. No, Rodgers didn't. Did Rodgers sign? No. Rodgers didn't sign slabhead. That was pretty sure that was Ranieri, or it might have been. Or it might have been Pearson, actually. So, yeah, it definitely wasn't Rodgers. I'd imagine players get sick of listening to him pretty quickly. And, yeah, absolutely. But, yeah, there is that concludes the FA Cup predictions.
I don't think I've gone for any shocks, actually, in the end. I think I've gone fairly... I'm trying to think if there was any shock. No, I don't think so. Cambridge United
think so, no.
Lower than what... I think that's possibly the...
Yeah, Cambridge is the only one that I can see at the moment. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is Cambridge.
If there was a shock, then maybe Forest, but that would be a shock for... Yeah, but I'm wondering whether some of the teams that have a surprisingly good round, say like when Newcastle got knocked out by Cambridge, quite often those teams then get knocked out quite quickly. It's difficult to do it twice in a row, and teams will be a bit more wary about them. Leicester are going to be wary about Forest, certainly. That'll be a good game to watch.
Yeah, definitely. It was Shakespeare. I knew it was one of the two. I couldn't remember who it was. Senegal and back-to-back AFCON finals. Yep, I have seen that. Hi, Jeannie. Rangers getting slapped around by Celtic at the moment. They certainly are. Guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much for tuning in to another FA Cup fourth round prediction stream. And yes, we will see if there are any upsets. We will see if there are any upsets for this round as well. Rich, thank you very much for coming back on. I really do appreciate it.
Pleasure. It was fun doing the last round, and yeah, no, it's good to do this one as well. So maybe we can keep going for the competition.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to just shout your socials?
Oh yeah, for me it's Rich Sports 7 on Twitter, and the YouTube channel is Rich Sports, and Doug's actually on my channel tonight at 10 to take part in a quiz that we're running over the course of the season against another Liverpool supporter, which will be very interesting indeed. So no club bias there. Got you versus Jamie. And yeah, thanks everyone in the comments making some fun streams. Obviously that really helps whenever you're doing any live video. It's good to get people involved. And yeah, people want to watch the quiz tonight, which will be hopefully entertaining, then feel free to guess along as well, because the comments are hidden from people taking part in the quiz, so it makes it all fun. And yeah, make sure you subscribe to Doug's channel. There's some great content you're putting out for lots of different leagues as well, not just Premier League and not just the club you support, which I think is great as well. I like to do some Premier League stuff, get the opinion of different fans as well, which is why I'm kind of joking a bit when you predict a match and you get so much I say passion / anger from fans about different fan bases. It's just great to see, and it's good to see the banter. So yeah, thanks for having me on, Doug. Really enjoyed it.
No, my absolute pleasure. Guys, that is the link for the quiz at 10 o'clock this evening. See how me and Jamie do up against each other. I am looking forward to it. I am looking very much forward to it. But yeah, I'll be back on Friday. I am doing a live Premier League predictions show against James of Sweet and Sour Soccer. So obviously I had the other half of Sweet and Sour Soccer on the last time. I've got the other half on this time. So it should be very, very good fun. That's at 2 o'clock. And then on Friday, we've also got the Friday LFC Focus. That is a big bumper show. I'm just going to say that now. That could be easily 2 hours. It could easily be 2 hours, but I'm sure we'll fit everything in for the hour and 30 minutes that I usually do as well. So hopefully everybody can tune in at 10 o'clock, see how I do against Jamie. But until then, it is goodbye from both of us, and we will see you very soon. Take care. Bye-bye for now.